Good morning. It's after sunrise, and I did that on purpose. Water temperature is 64.4. The air temperature is high 50s, and I wanted to get here when the sun was out. It's supposed to be kind of sunny today and low 80s even, for all of you guys up north that are stuck in the house. I'm on a lake I come to once in a while. I've done really well here at times in numbers, nothing huge, but here's the lake. There's only a small part of it, and this is a chain of lakes, and I'm gonna use a bunch of different things. I'm not sure what, and let's go fishing. Well, I'm gonna start out with a chatterbait. It vibrates quite well. It's got a boot tail, a swim bait on the back. Let's see what happens. It's dead calm, wind-wise. And I was just gonna say I don't see anything busting, but I don't know if you can see up there, there's fish busting all over there. So let's move kind of over there. I hope you can see this because you're kind of pointed right into the sun. Now, so you can see there's hydrilla here. Throwing a fluke. It's kind of slower. And then mix the bait. Let's just see what we can get here. It's kind of sunny here. I'm having trouble seeing. And there's hydrilla down here. Did see fish busting right here just a second ago. I'm in about 10 feet of water. The hydrilla is a couple of feet down. There we go. There we go. Well, he's a little guy, but he's at least a fish. Well, he's not much, but he's a fish. Let's see, just for the heck of it. 11.5 inches. It's at least 8 pounds. See ya. Well, as you can hear, and then I've said this in my previous videos, as soon as I get a camera out, there's always somebody out. Chainsaw, weed whacker, lawnmower, and nonetheless it's the same thing here, but that's all right. Let me give you an update on something. You can see that there's the original pedals, the aluminum ones. I took out the new ones because I was having some trouble, as you saw in video number 3 about my pedals, and I spoke with Josh. He tells me that the problem I am having with mine is not something that a lot of the new pedal owners have. Wait a minute. I'm busy. This fish interrupted us. And let me just see. This one's 11 inches, even smaller. See ya. Now I'm back to the other ones, and when I pulled off the boat launch, trying to turn around, there was another boat trying to launch, so I'm trying to get off the launch and get out of his way, and trying to go from reverse and then spin the boat around and get away from the boat launch. And it immediately reminded me of how slow the old pedals react when you go from, especially forward to reverse or reverse to forward, or even just when you first step on them. There's a little hesitation there, where the new ones immediately respond, which was wonderful. I really like that. I'm still waiting. Josh says he's going to get me the new ones and get us all the new ones that are having those problems as quick as he can. He doesn't want to get them out when they're not fully ready and vetted, which makes sense to me. My pedals don't have any issues, so I'm using the old ones. It's fall here. It's December 2024. Every year I'm always surprised at how drastically and how quickly Central Florida goes from hot, sweating hot, humid, all the rest of that, and then goes to cold. You guys are laughing because up north you're maybe even below zero by now. We did get one overnight that was in the 30s. And the issue is, I don't know if you can see, I don't still put on long pants. I do own long pants. I very rarely wear them. And I don't even have a coat on today, even though when I got out of the car, the air temperature was in the upper 50s. But I'm telling you, I'm glad I didn't bring the coat, just because I'd have it off and I'd have to put it someplace in the boat. This sun is making me hot already, which is okay, but it's not the humid that we normally see in Florida. And this, for the next 6 months, is why I moved here. I'm hoping in the next 6 months here to get a lot more fishing done. During the summertime, it's too stinking hot, and I don't go out a lot. I go out, but not a lot. In the last couple of weeks, since the cold fronts have all started, it's been very windy, and just the coming out in the boat hasn't been something that I bothered doing for a couple of weeks now. Today's supposed to be lower 80s, sunny most of the day, almost no winds, 2 miles an hour, 4 miles an hour, that kind of thing, which is just the way how I like it, and that's the way how the twin troller likes it too. Let me show you something that I do. See this? It's a counter. And I now have 2 fish on the count. Why do I have that? Because there are days that I've come out and caught upper 30s fish. Sometimes I just like to know how many I caught. I kind of write it in a log that I have. Sometimes I forget, sometimes. But I had that at the house, and I finally dug it out, and I've been keeping it in the boat because it gives me an idea of how successful a day it was. It doesn't tell you how big the fish are, just how many I'm catching. Well, this one's a little bit bigger. Well, let's see. 13 inches. Woohoo! All right, see you, buddy. Now, what I get him on, I changed to, this is a wacky rigged Senko. Let me explain what it is. This is a, they call it a circle hook, and let me show you why I use this. Here we go. See how the point is not facing there? It's curled in just a little bit. Well, that keeps me out of catching so many of the weeds out here, and it works really well. Now this is this ring. That ring comes from a tool like this. See the O-rings here? You slide an O-ring up to the end, you put this into here, then you can slide this off onto the worm or the Senko, and then I put it through this, but somewhere it's around the middle. Now, I also tend to put it through the plastic just a little bit. Instead of just hooking it through the ring, I put it through the plastic because I found that if I don't, this will sometimes slide up and down. So I just stick it through the plastic just a little bit so it kind of keeps itself in place. Not so much deep that it couldn't slide, because what I want this to do is once the fish gets it, if you start shaking it, this slides up the hook and then up the line, and then it doesn't do much damage to this, and I can use it again. All right, let's try it again. Something busting on the surface there. It's 14.5. Nothing huge, but that's not bad. Got him on the same Senko. See you later. 4. Where am I throwing them? This is hydrilla everywhere here. We're in 11 feet of water. Every once in a while I'll throw this, it gets caught on the weeds, but not nearly as bad as it would if it was a J hook. I just throw it like that. I wait a couple of seconds. I'm trying to get it to fall between the hydrilla. Sometimes I let it fall farther. I do a little twitch, and sometimes it says, got something on there. I got a weed there, as you can see. I just pull it up, snap it off. I don't know if you can see in the water here. It's hydrilla all over the place, so it's getting a little bit thick here. I'm going to move a little bit farther out. Let me just show you something, if you can see it. When I throw that in the water, it sinks, as you can see. But then when I twitch it, it actually crawls along. It collapses, and it looks like it's something alive. Pretty cool. That's interesting. Little bugger on. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, little. He's less than 12 inches. See you, guy. I had caught another one, but I didn't get the cameras on, so that's actually number 6. If you've watched my videos for a long time, this is my favorite worm. I use it especially in small bodies of water, or even up north. I don't throw it into big bodies of water like this one. This is actually a chain of lakes, but I just decided to do that because it's small worm, kind of disappears in all of this stuff, but they somehow find it, and so that's what I'm using. And this is called a Charlie Brewer spider slider head. This head's attached. It's an offset hook. It's an 1/8 ounce, and this is a 4-inch Berkeley Power Finesse worm. Blue tail, black body. Very soft plastic, so I actually bury it in the middle of the plastic. But this has a distinctive fall. It glides, and then it will slide like this on the bottom. It does really good. I've been using this for 45 years, 50 years maybe. My favorite worm. Alright, let's try it again. Now I've been fishing way out deep, kind of open water, way in shallow. The weeds in there are so bad that you just can't throw, I can't even throw this thing in there. I've thrown all kinds of things, but I'm out here, well, it's 8 foot here, it's showing there, it's actually 9 foot because of the weeds here. Just on the outside edge of this, where this hydrilla starts to thin just a little, not out in open water, seems to be where I get most of mine in the past and today. So I throw this out, I let it sink. Remember, it does a little on its way down. Now, I'm caught on grass, popped it out. And I'm just basically crawling it back. Some days I throw it out and actually swim it back, but and then there's weeds on it. I just saw a fish flash right there, that's why I threw. I don't know if you noticed, the wind's starting to pick up. Not that it's windy here, but my guess is on the other side where it's, because the wind is coming right from here, right there. So as it goes all the way across, I'm sure it's a little rougher on the other side. There we go. Right in the top of the head. About 12.5 inches. Clean you off. Looking good, Mr. Fish. Actually, I forgot I have something with me. Alright, here's another one. Another little guy. Alright, 11 1/4. I may have forgotten to push the button the last time. Alright, time for an update. Update on what? Guess what? I just got a phone call while I'm fishing from Josh from Freedom Electric Marine. He wanted to tell me about the pedals. He's been doing a bunch of work, him and his team, working on the software, dialing everything in. He is hoping that he's got everything the way how he wants it. He's been doing lots of testing and having people test them. So far, looking good. So he wants to send out a handful of them to people who have had problems with their pedals, like me. And whenever I get it, I'll get out on the water and I'll do some testing and then report back to Josh. But I'm not going to tell you about the results of that, at least not now. I'm not going to give you another update until Josh is satisfied that everything's working good and he's satisfied enough to start letting us have them and continue to sell them. So that's good news. I wish I could tell you the results, but I promised him I wouldn't, and that's what we're going to do. So when Josh is satisfied that everything is ready to go, after the testing that we're going to do and after the testing they've done, and he's satisfied with everything, then I will get out on the water. I will test them one last time, make a video about that, and then give you the result. But I promised him that I'm not going to give you the results of this testing until we get all done, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm pretty close to the boat launch. I'm about ready to head in for the day. I think I had 7 altogether, and I may have forgotten to push the button once. But that's okay. No big fish, but it was still fun. I still had a good day. Thanks for watching, and come back and see me again. If you're interested, I got a whole bunch of videos on my playlist. Feel free to watch those. There are all kinds of things about the twin troller and about how I take care of it or modifications I've made. Thanks. Bye now. Josh, after I signed off, since you had told me to catch one for you, I did. Before I got to the boat launch, I caught one more. This is for you, Josh. Thanks for everything you do.